May 1st, 2026. Let's look over the NASDAQ price action today and talk about all of the potential solutions that occurred today. We're going to be looking at a zoomed out version on a 5-minute chart first off, and then second, we're going to break down first we'll start with the daily. So on a daily time frame, we have a continuation of the upward channel that we've been in for a while. So nothing new, since we're in an upward channel. When we have upward opportunities, upward alignments in momentum, we really want to be paying attention to those. Let's go over the situation today. First of all, can we all just appreciate how the price action bounces off of VWAP every single day? If you really just sit in a room with no distractions for 2 hours and you look at the 5-minute chart on the S&P or the NASDAQ, and you just look at every New York session and look at how the price plays with VWAP, you're going to start to notice a lot of interesting things, especially when you combine volume with how price interacts with VWAP. It's just so beautiful and obvious. Not to mention when you throw in the previous day levels, like for example, we have the pre-market high right here in red, previous day's high in pink, pre-market low in blue, previous day's low in light blue. And then the purple is the weekly levels to pay attention to. So we opened high today, and we've been ripping upward, right, for the past 2 or 3 weeks. So we opened with a strong bullish 5-minute candle. And we're going to stay on the 5-minute chart for now, and then we're going to get into the other alignments, like the entries and the trades that I took. We're going to stick to the 5-minute chart for now, just so we can keep it a little bit basic. So we know that we have a lot of upward inherent momentum because of the daily chart that we just looked at. So we open with this 5-minute candle here. We have all of this strength. Now, I want you to notice that when we come back to VWAP right here, what is the momentum telling you? Look at the momentum. Wait for the momentum to align back to the upside. When does that happen? Just use your eyes. It happens about right here, okay? Here is where the momentum starts to shift to the upside. The 30-minute momentum looks like this, going up strong. The 15-minute momentum looks like this, going up really strong. So when we wait for the momentum to start shifting to the upside right here, we're really playing with our probabilities. We're really stacking the odds in our favor. So at this very candle, we had the momentum shift, and we had a strong 15-minute force. We had a very strong 30-minute force. Hasn't even broken variance yet. See here, it's breaking variance to the downside. Here, it hasn't even broken variance yet. So, like, the first solution for today was this right here. Very good long opportunity right there. Why did we enter? Because we have the momentum aligning to the upside, bouncing off of VWAP. It doesn't get any more clear than that. Okay, let's go over another situation that occurred today. We're just looking at the momentum, okay? Just look at the momentum with me. So we come up. That's the move we just talked about. First solution for today. And then the second solution occurs right here. Starts coming up here, see? Going down, boom, ticks up. And it's not strong, and it's surrounded by a bunch of selling volume. So that's not very interesting. That's not something we should be excited about. The 15-minute is about to cross over into the red, so that's something we really shouldn't be excited about. There's a lot of warning signs. One warning sign, the 15-minute MACD momentum is literally about to cross over to the downside. The second warning is we're surrounded by red volume leading up to this point. So as the momentum starts to shift to the upside, we have a lot of warnings to not take this trade right here. So we wait, okay, now we're getting another alignment to the upside. 15 is still warning us not to take the trade. But at least now we have some strong volume with us. See the difference? Bunch of red selling, then we get a little green. Okay, but now we got some little greens or little reds and a larger green. Look at all these other greens that are about to follow. That's not that we can see in the future, but my point is I'm trying to show you the difference between this entry here, surrounded by reds, not very strong, got a warning signal from the 15. I'm trying to compare that. These are other 5-minute data sets, so don't worry about these. With this entry right here, which is much stronger. So the next 5-minute solution for today, May 1st, was this one right here. So far, 2 solutions on the 5-minute execution time frame. If we run a 1-minute execution time frame, which is what I use, you're going to get a lot more solutions. You're going to get a lot more entries. And the higher up you go in the time frame, the less entries you're going to get. Simple as that. By this time, the 15-minute has now crossed over into the red by this time of the day. So we're actually now looking to play to the opposite side. We want to look for like short opportunities because we don't want to trade against a 15. We want the 15 and the 30 to be aligned, but if the 15 is in the red, which it is at this time, and if the 30 is going down, which it is, then we want to look for short opportunities. Look what you see right here. A volume confluence with the momentum going down. Look. Momentum's up here. Comes down a little bit right here. See this tick down? But we have a weak volume confluence. And then it comes up, ticks down again, and now we have the volume confluence occurring right here. Look. See that one? So I wonder what happens at that point. It led to another solution. That next solution was right here. And then finally, the last solution of the day occurred right here. Why? We had a move down, then it cooled off for 2 bars, 2 5-minute bars, and then that 3rd-minute bar, boom, ticked down yet again, and look, we have a volume confluence. So that 3rd solution for today was right here. And there was one more, it was weak because it was at the end of the day, but it was another valid entry, which is right here. Look at the momentum. Look at the momentum. Up, 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 tick down right here. Look at this. That's the one. That's the one. It's a little bit weaker because of the volume and stuff that's involved with it right here. A bunch of green leading into it. But it's a valid entry nonetheless. So that was another solution for today. So altogether on a 5-minute time frame of execution, we had about 5 solutions today. Some long, some short. I just wanted to show you that there. And it's going to be an interesting week next week. Right before I end this episode, we're going to talk about how much more interesting this gets when you have a 1-minute execution time frame. Because look, now you've got all of these movements going on throughout the day. So there's a lot more decision making. It's a lot harder, you could say. But you get a lot more early entries. So that's the good part. You would take that same philosophy that we just discussed with the 5-minute chart. You would take that same philosophy with momentum. And you would do it on a 1-minute chart or a 2-minute chart and see how you would perform. And with all that being said, I will see you in the next one. Take care now.